Hey everybody, I'm so glad to see you. This workout is near and dear to my heart. I am so about strength training. It's one of the most empowering things I've ever done. It helped me the most with mobility. It helped me the most with flexibility. And believe it or not, it actually helped me. Hold on just a minute. We're doing this live and we have a phone ringing. Hold on just a second.
That's not my phone, that's hers.
Okay, where was I? Strength training. It's honestly one of the most empowering things I've ever done. It really is surprising how much it helps with balance, mobility, flexibility, and plus you just feel so kick butt after you do it. So today we're going to start with a very, very basic introduction. I have Coach Chris and I have Aspyn with me, and believe it or not, as thin and as beautiful as Aspyn is, she has never ever lifted weights. And tell me, Chris, is it a misconception that lifting weights is going to bulk me out?
Yeah, absolutely. I used to hear that all the time. Totally false. Totally false. Especially for women. Women just don't have the testosterone. So unless you're giving yourself some pharmaceutical enhancement, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
And you know, actually I found for me it was one of the quickest ways I dropped pant sizes. And I can tell when I haven't been doing a lot of strength training because the inches slowly creep back on faster than anything. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to step back and we're going to let Chris walk us through some very, very basic workouts with very light weights. Aspyn's going to be using 2 pounds. I have 5 pounds. I got these at my local discount store. They weren't very expensive. If you don't have them today, just use a can. I remember when I was growing up, the weights were with soup cans or whatever you have at home, or even if you're just using the motions without the weights, please join us. All right.
All right. So we're just going to go over some various, as Janelle was saying, some very basic things. Nothing too crazy. So basically anybody any fitness level should be able to follow us along without too much of a problem. All right. So we have to warm up. Got to warm up these old rickety bones. My bones are old. 41. I'm old and rickety. So I need to warm up. So how do we do that? We're going to start with just some pendulum swings. So do you want me to demonstrate it first? Or?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So we're just going to stand nice and secure, chair or whatever you have, a railing in your home. And just going to bring your leg across, just somewhat effortlessly, and just come up as high as you feel going, as far across as you feel going. Make sure you don't hit your foot on the chair. Just going across, just to warm up your hips. You're going to feel a little bit in your glutes, maybe a little bit in the hamstrings, IT band a little bit. And as you come up, you're also going to feel in your groin a little bit. So we just go back and forth for a good set of maybe 15, 20 per side.
So if I can't lift it high, it's okay. It's more just about the swing.
Yeah, that is 100% okay. It's all about just improving your mobility somewhat effortlessly. Very low, obviously very low impact. Pretty much whether you're 5 or 105, assuming you can stand, you should be able to do this. And so we're actually going to try to go across. Yeah.
Gotcha.
How's that feel?
Yeah, my muscles I can feel the blood get into the muscle.
Yeah, right.
There it is. So anytime you're ready to switch sides, I'm good.
And we can switch. And one thing I definitely want to point out, your legs are going to be straight, but not necessarily totally locked. So your legs are going to be as straight as they can be without being locked. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're just coming across back.
It takes a little bit of thought process and coordination.
Yeah. There you go. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Just take it as far as you can. Whoosh.
I'm trying to learn how to just relax and let it go.
Yeah. This shouldn't necessarily be a forceful thing. This is just letting your body weight just kind of take it back and forth. Hence the name, just pendulum swings, just like that. Just going back and forth, back and forth. And now, so now we're going to change direction. Just keep it the same thing, but we're going to change direction. So now it's going to be just front to back. Okay?
I think I'm going to stand over here. You want to stand here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's really good for the front of your hip as well as your hamstring. Most people's hamstrings are very, very, very tight. For all of you office workers, people who are sitting down for a tremendous amount of the day or driving, Your hamstrings will more than likely be tight, so this is good for you guys. There you go. And just taking this far up as you feel comfortable going, and back as you feel comfortable. But your legs should be, straight as you come back, fairly straight.
Okay, gotcha.
So as you come back, you should feel it up in your hips, up in here.
And I maybe feel a little bit on the other side as it kind of balances, and that's okay?
Yeah, yes, absolutely fine.
All right, anytime you're ready to switch, the blood's
Okay, we'll switch it up, we'll switch it up.
It's surprising when you've sat all day, the blood getting you back into that muscle is like, oh, hello, I'm awake. All right.
I'll just start out the day like this.
No, like, get out of bed and do this, right? It would be awesome.
Yeah, this actually should help just to get things going, speed up the metabolism, get the blood flowing through the joints, get you ready for the day. How's that feel?
It's awesome. Feels actually really good.
It's funny, like the different sides are like very different. This one's much easier.
Yeah, generally one side does have some sort of variance between the two. Most people favor one side opposed to another. Looks good.
All right.
All right, so we'll change things up. I want to do something with the upper body, which they do this in Tai Chi sometimes. So it's basically just all about just getting your trunk nice and warm and loosened up. So we're just coming, again, as far as you can, but without straining, just bending. But just kind of letting your arms almost hit yourself, all right? So
But keep all that tight?
Yes.
Kind of?
Everything's
Okay.
nice and tight. Just going back and forth. Just really trying to get that trunk nice and loose. And it all does work in unison. It all does work in conjunction.
I mean, it feels good, right? Aspyn is surprising. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I can keep doing this.
Most people, when they have lower back pain, people say, oh, I gotta stretch out my back. And you know, your back is probably tight. But one of the reasons why it is tight is one of the reasons why we did the pendulum swings. The number one question I ask a person is, how's the hamstring flexibility? Cool? So get the hamstrings nice and tight. It is going to help that lower back, but if you do feel that your lower back is still a little tight, if we're doing motions like twisting, just to get some blood flow, that should also help that out too.
Cool. All right, Aspyn, you ready to try weights?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So I'll probably have the weights here. I'll probably leave the legs. Now maybe we do a little bit of legs.
Yeah, all right, well.
All right. So.
Do we need the chairs anymore?
Yes.
Okay.
Just to.
So we can leave them here.
Yeah. Let's keep this as basic as possible. I will show the advanced, but we'll do the basic version first. I'm huge on back. It's one of my favorite things to do. So, two things you have to remember whenever you're doing your back. You need to protect your actual spinal column as well as your spinal erectors or your lower back. Okay, so I find the best way of doing that is sticking your chest out, chest out, shoulders back, almost as if you're saluting. Okay, 10 up. So, what we're going to do over here, and if you have a full-length mirror at your disposal, it would be best. If you do not, we'll just do our best with it, all right? Because you're not going to be able to see yourself. But, so your chest is out, so actually, Janelle, you want to?
Yeah, want to grab my pen? All right.
And all we're going to do, actually, I'll let you guys stay right here.
All right.
You can,
You want to move in front just to show them?
yeah, I'll let you guys use the chair, because I'm actually going to have you bend over and use that. But all we're going to do is you're just going to be chest out, shoulders back. You're just going to hold on to the bench or the chair and just rolling right up and just doing your best to squeeze your lats all in there. Okay? So, you're just going to, yeah.
All right. So just do it like from
So,
here.
you can just,
I guess it doesn't
just
help
right
to
there.
stress out about the chair.
Yeah.
Just lean against the chair, however that looks. Okay.
And so, okay. So this
Not
is,
back enough. Okay, hold on.
Aspyn was perfect for what the vast majority of you guys are probably going to do. Yes, so you let your shoulders come down.
All right.
So that's it. So we're really going to exaggerate it. Chest out, shoulders back. You know, you salute me when you
And
walk.
we go
Yeah.
over.
So there you go.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So
Just like that. Wow. So we're going to keep the knees nice and bent.
Okay.
chest out.
Okay, gotcha.
But we're gonna try to stay darn it. There we go. And we can
And
straight
then
out the
just
leg.
pull right back, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is.
See, I love how that feels right.
Janelle's a pro, I don't even have to worry about it.
Like I said, I like strength training. I love it. It's my favorite workout.
And so,
I feel like I'm bummed a little too much. No.
so you should just feel it. Be nice and warm. You got you nice and warm. The warm is good. So we just gotta should be feeling it right here. That's where you're trying to squeeze. Right when you last, your it's kind of your lower traps and your lats.
It feels good though, right?
Yeah.
Like right between the shoulder blades. All right, I'm gonna do the other side.
Yeah. So we're doing 10, 12. You don't necessarily have to kill yourself. You're just trying to awaken those muscles. I mean, we're using very light weight. Ultimately, and that let me say this. When using light weight, this is just to get your body used to doing this. As soon as, if you can do more than 10 and 12, it's way too light. But initially, just to make sure your ligaments and tendons are ready for what's to come later on, 3 pounds, 2 pounds, 5 pounds is perfectly fine. Ultimately, I want you doing 100 pounds, but we can get to that. Next workout.
So how do I know? So if I can do 10 or 12, it's too much. Or I could consider going up.
Yeah, if you can go more, we can go heavier with the weight.
Okay, and so like if you get to the point, and then like if I can do only 2 or 3, then maybe that's too heavy.
Way too heavy, yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
All right.
So 10, 12 is generally, it's all about, not to get too technical, it's all about hitting the type 2 muscle fibers. 3 types of major muscle fibers, type 1, type 2A, and type 2X, formerly known as type 2B. We don't have to know all that. Just to keep your rep range around 10 to 12, and we're good, okay?
All right.
So, how do you feel with the
Good.
rows?
I didn't know if I was doing it right the whole time.
Okay.
So I do feel it in my back. Is that okay?
Good stuff. I like it. I'm gonna show
As long
you.
as I'm feeling it.
We're gonna do that one more time, except we're gonna change the arm position. So rather than coming this way, we're gonna go a high row, which is this way. So now you're gonna feel it a little bit more up top. Okay?
So for
Which
this
is really
one, we still bend over?
yes.
Okay.
And again, it's really tremendous for people who sit down all day typing at your computer, where you have that flexion, that chest flexion, so you have that kyphotic
Like you're
position.
leaning forward,
Yes.
like you're just bringing your shoulders in, because you sit at the computer and you tend to do this, right?
Yes,
I mean,
yes. The pronated shoulders, we don't want that. So just to bring everything back, that's what this is going to help to do.
All right.
Let's see
So
what you got.
So one arm at a time, right?
One arm at a time.
All right.
So, and now we're going to come this way. So rather than this way,
Uh-huh.
the hand's going to be like this,
And it's going to be like
and we're just
this.
coming straight up.
And so I want my elbow kind of straight with my shoulder
Yes,
straight out.
absolutely. Trying to get about 90 degrees. Make my job so easy. There you go. Doing great. There you go. So it's just trying to squeeze this area, your traps right here. That's where you should be feeling right where your hand is. How's that feel? I mean, I know that's probably a little light for you, but it's all about just squeezing. So we can actually, your arms come, which is technically fine. Your arms coming a little bit back. It should be a little bit further. Yeah, there we go. So you're just coming straight up out. Like my sound effects?
Yeah.
So we'll switch sides. Doing great.
All right. I love how that feels. Like you, I sit at the computer most of the day, so this feels really good.
Good stuff.
Good.
All right, so from here, we'll do presses. Now, this movement isn't necessarily for 100%. The vast majority, yes, but not. Actually, we'll change it up. This should be for everybody. We're only going to come up as high as you feel comfortable going. Okay? For any of us who have any shoulder issues, if you feel a slight twinge at all, stop. Either don't do this exercise or only come up to where you don't feel anything. But it's lateral raise. So we're just going to come straight up and right back down. Now, if you notice where my fingers are, if I bring my fingers out, my pinky is slightly higher than my index. That's to make sure it's really hitting the medial head of your shoulder.
So basically, it kind of looks like a slight, like this, like it's not pronounced like this, but it's like.
Yeah, ever so slightly. There you go. Just really make sure you're hitting that medial head, opposed to that frontal head, which is the front of the shoulder.
Cool. Okay, so. And I know I've hurt this muscle before, so like he just said, please be really careful with these lifts. Because those little muscles are small.
Yeah.
And yeah, you'll notice them if you strain them. All right.
Kind of? Yeah?
There you go. Perfect, perfect, perfect.
Ooh.
So straight as, arms going to be as straight as they can be without being locked. And just coming straight up. Ow. Made my job so easy. I appreciate that.
You're so funny.
And his knees are slightly bent.
Not locked. Gotcha.
So I want to bend for two reasons. One, you've got to keep the stress off the back. And two, you're taller than me, so you have to come down to my
Okay, good.
The most important thing to choose about the back. That's good to know about protecting the back. I've been
Yeah, I didn't realize that. That's good. That's cool.
How's that feel?
Yeah.
Feels good?
I'm feeling good.
So if you can do that for lateral raises, more than likely you can also do it for your frontal head too. Most people's frontal heads are a little bit stronger. So two ways of going about it. Actually, technically three. If you do have shoulder issues, you can just come straight up. So your biceps is going to help to flex your shoulder a little bit. So your biceps are going to be involved. If you just want primarily frontal head, we're going to twist. So it's just going to be right here.
Okay, so the first one is to come up without a twist.
Yeah. So perfectly straight off, square off, and just coming straight up. Boom.
Okay, then
That's it.
or I can go and do this.
Yeah.
Or I'm turning it kind of like.
Okay.
Or if it's really super light, you just say, screw it, and let's just do both at the same time.
Okay.
Which makes it a tiny bit harder, but if it's really light, that's probably what both of you guys should probably do.
All right.
Yeah.
When you usually lift, when you do this?
Well, I don't actually, what's funny? Because of beating myself up for so long, playing college football and everything else, I don't do front raises anymore. I can push press over 300 pounds over my head.
But these are hard, right?
But even doing 5 pounds probably would hurt my shoulder, believe it or not.
That's what I'm talking about. Those little muscles, you don't realize how sensitive they are. Yeah. Cool.
That's probably way too light, huh? A little bit?
I mean, like, it's good for this time.
Okay.
I'll just get heavier as I'll get him heavier as it goes.
All right, so we'll do one other thing.
Okay.
We'll do some squats, and then we'll come into some front raises. Okay. So squats is all about hitting the quads, glutes, and hammies. You never want your knees over your toes. It puts a lot of pressure on your knees. Get this up.
Yeah, let's move the chair for you because I think it's
So-
easier.
So how do we alleviate that? You kind of stick your rump out a little bit, kind of show off what you got. All right. So that rump is poked out, coming down. It's coming right back up. Now you don't have to go down 90 degrees. If you feel great, you can. Even if you're only inching it, here, I'll take it.
And what do you do with the weights? I mean, would you use weights for this? Or?
You can. You can actually hold them both at the same size and go down. If you can go down, it's really easy. You can do way more than 12. You can just hold it. You can just hold one here. If you just need a little extra resistance, it's kind of coming down, it's coming up.
I can't go that. I can't go that.
Now, if you really want to make it advanced, you could hold it just like this. Come down, press up. Well, we don't need to do all that just now.
Okay, so you can either hold the weight or not, and just try. It's almost like sitting down in a chair is what it feels like to me. Is that right? So it's kind of like just that.
Mm-hmm. Sitting down as slow as you possibly can. And now, if that's where you feel comfortable staying, I'm all for it. The main thing is we just don't want your knees.
I just want to make sure that I'm not like.
Yes, actually, I'm gonna take yours.
I'm very unbalanced.
That's all right. I'm gonna take yours
for this time.
just so it's not a distraction.
Next time.
I give you the 50s next time. There you go.
Do this. Okay.
So here we go. Sticking that rump out, kind of showing off what you got to people back there. There you go.
My legs, my knees are going forward, and they're not.
No, you're good. You're good because if you watch,
They don't?
Actually, once you turn to the side, so the,
Okay.
so the masses can see.
Cool.
So
Sticking out my rump, right?
There you go. If you watch Aspyn, her knees are, you know, they're slightly forward, but they're not coming over your feet, which so you're fine. You know, now,
Squats, like.
that's all right. Now they're starting to come forward a little bit, though.
Yeah.
Tight there. So really making sure they're sticking that rump out. There you go. There you go.
Okay. I got unbalanced.
Yeah, I love
like,
this.
really unbalanced. Like
Perfect.
So you can, if you feel unbalanced, you can always just like a tripod. The more stable, the wider the base, the
Okay,
more
that's
stable
not
it'll be.
easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah, look at that.
See, it's better.
I'll stay there for a bit.
And really sticking that out so the knees don't come forward. There you go.
Whoop.
Now, if you notice, go down for me.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys can see that, but
Here, just come sit out here. Just a little bit further.
actually, it's and turn to the camera now. And yes, it's still that wide position that you like. And go down for me. There you go. Now I don't know if you guys caught that, but no, I'm so glad that you would have said.
Okay.
If you notice that your legs are doing that, collapsing in as you're coming up, it's not that big of a deal, but it's primarily, more than likely, your medial glute isn't firing properly. So one thing you can do to correct that over time is stand on a chair and just do hip abductions. Come up with your heel up and come right back down. It's really going to hit that area, okay? Which is going to help to keep any injuries away. I'm sorry?
Okay, do squats is going to help me later in life, like with the squats, or?
Well, squats, they hit the quads, glutes, and hammies. So, I mean, you keep your legs and back nice and strong, everything else just really falls into place.
All right.
So.
All right, guys, we've given you a couple of things to get started with. Feel free to watch this video 2 or 3 times and follow along. You'll get a good workout. And as always, this video will be available very soon in the membership section of Strive with Janelle. Hope you'll go check that out. It really was a resource I designed for people who were just getting started and really needed a little bit of help getting in shape to get in shape. Maybe you don't feel comfortable going to the gym. Maybe you don't feel like you could even do the beginner class. That's what that membership section is for, really truly, just trying to help you guys get active and get moving, because I promise the quality of life increases so much you don't understand. Thanks, guys.